The United Nations says that earthquake-ravaged Morocco could ask for aid in the coming days. Aid Chief Martin Griffiths says the agency is standing by to provide that assistance. The 6.8 magnitude earthquake is the strongest the country has seen since at least 1900 and its deadliest in more than 60 years, killing almost 3,000 people and injuring more than 5,600 others.
We are expecting and hoping, but expecting from our discussions with the Moroccan authorities, that the request for assistance will go out with today or tomorrow. Very soon. Because, as I said, Morocco is moving from one phase to the next. But more aid is what's really needed now into Morocco. And what we're waiting for in Morocco is that moment of the green light to start the process. We are ready to work and we're ready to provide support on coordination.
Search and rescue operations are still ongoing about a week after this disaster. International teams in the village of Tikt have yet to successfully find any survivors, but say they will stay for as long as they are needed.
We haven't had the success of actually rescuing any people. We have done some first aid and some medical evacuations from some of the other villages, so that's really played our part. Moving forward, we're going to continue as long as the Moroccan people want us here.
Aid has been slow to reach survivors in the country's most isolated areas. Residents there are relying on donkeys to bring vital supplies to the village and still live in makeshift tents. Larger towns have already established orderly government-issued shelters and military field hospitals. Meanwhile, tourism operators have started encouraging people to travel to Marrakesh as the country tries to resume some normalcy after the earthquake. Hotels and small businesses have started to reopen, and flights into the North African nation are operating as usual. For more, Alex Kadir joins us live from Marrakesh. Now, Alex, residents, especially those in isolated areas we're just hearing here, complaining about the time taken for aid to get to them. What's taking the government so long?
Well, you're right, there was definitely frustration expressed in those first few days, the lack of urgency and need for help in those remote areas. But to give you a sense of how difficult it is to get there, you said it quite rightly, some of these places are only accessible by foot or on horseback or on the back of a donkey. These are very remote villages that are accessible with trails about 2,000 meters above sea level. They are part of a mountain range that has Africa's second tallest peak. This is a very difficult area to get into, and that was the struggle the Moroccan government faced trying to get up those hills. You also have to understand the roads to get to those highest points are single-track gravel roads with rock falls constantly on the roads that needed to be cleared as the rescue efforts tried to get up there. Now, most, if not all of these villages have been reached. As we said, some are still looking for survivors, but we are so far beyond that 72-hour window of hope that the chance of finding any survivors is increasingly slim, and that happening would be considered miraculous. But search and rescue teams still pushing very hard. The Moroccan government has defended its response as government spokesperson, saying we wanted to avoid any counterproductive lack of coordination, and that is why we were selective in the help that we asked for.
Alex, you are in Marrakesh, and we're hearing operators encouraging the return of tourism to Marrakesh to try to bring the country back to some level of normalcy. But looking at all the pictures, the footage, the video, how far off is Morocco or Marrakesh from returning to some level of normalcy?
Well, I think it would be fair to say that for Marrakesh, normalcy isn't that far away. The last few days have been quite tense because we've felt aftershocks in this city, and that means there is a concern, of course, of some buildings further being damaged or collapsing altogether. But Marrakesh seems to be recovering quite quickly. Now, those high Atlas mountains where I was just yesterday, that will take a lot longer. We heard the King Mohammed VI this morning announcing that 50,000 families will be rehoused in stronger temporary structures. At the moment, they're in tents, but the looming winter means that they will need something to withstand the cold. They will all receive around $3,000 in financial aid directly as well. So those high Atlas mountains, entire villages have been destroyed. Half of their population has died. They all relied on tourism. They all relied on hikers coming up to that Atlas mountain range, known for its natural beauty, and that will take a lot longer to recover.
Well, thanks to Alex Kadir reporting live from Marrakesh in Morocco.